My name is David Jaffe. Welcome to the Wealth and Health Podcast, where you'll learn valuable skills and positive habits that will improve your life. This podcast originally aired as a video on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/beststockstrategy. The Wealth and Health Podcast is brought to you by beststockstrategy.com.
The wheel strategy might actually be costing you money. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who teach the wheel. One of my friends on YouTube, TJ the Wheel Deal, he's amazing at running the wheel. TJ is very likable. He has self-deprecating humor. He's a lot smarter than he gives himself credit for. I think with TJ, the wheel works because he's trading with an enormous account and he's not using margin. The reason why I think it's important if you're going to trade the wheel not to over-lever your account is that if we have a pullback like we experienced earlier this year, where the market falls by 20 or 30%, then volatility is going to increase and a lot of your short puts are going to end up showing you a major loss, which is going to eat up almost all your buying power, and then you're going to be forced to close out your positions at the worst time. However, a lot of the instructors on YouTube that I've been critical of the past, they make it seem that selling covered calls is easy money, that you can make an extra 10 to 20% a year by selling covered calls. But I think that they're wrong. In fact, I believe that selling covered calls might actually be costing you money. So this account was opened up as an experiment. I put a few $100,000 in. I wanted to primarily combine long stock and options in this account without using that much leverage. You can see our year-to-date performance, we're crushing the market. If you look at the positions, you'll see that selling covered calls has actually cost me money. Apple, no problem, because the underlying stock has not pushed through the 220 call strike. But what about Amazon? I have over a $9,000 gain on Amazon. However, I sold a $210 call, and I had to roll this because originally I sold a $205 call. Look, when I rolled it from a 202.5 to a 205, I picked up 32 cents. So I picked up less than $100. Then in order for me to roll it and increase the call strike by $5, I had to increase my risk by selling 3 of the 175 puts that expire on June 13th. Now, I definitely wouldn't mind owning Amazon at 175, but if we go back to the Amazon position, Amazon is currently trading at $211. So in order for me to increase the strike from 205 to 210, I had to push this trade out by a few weeks, and I had to sell 3 of the 175 puts and increase my risk. And even with all that work, this trade is still in the money. It's still costing me money, where if I didn't sell any covered calls, I would have made more money just by simply going long the shares. Blackstone is basically trading at the money, and it's very possible that it's going to be trading over 150. Chipotle, Google, that trade is fine. The covered calls are not being challenged. Here's another example with Microsoft. Microsoft, 200 shares. This is showing me a gain of $12,000. However, it doesn't matter that Microsoft is trading at $449 because I'm short 2 of the 415s. That means that these covered calls have cost me around $7,000 at this moment if I did not sell the 415s. If I had simply been long 200 shares, I would be up $12,000. But unfortunately, now instead of selling it at $449 or $450, I'm obligated to sell it at $415. Therefore, I miss out on $35 for every share. PNW, Palantir, SPY, same situation here with SPY. SPY is trading close to 587, yet I agreed to sell it at 581. Therefore, this has cost me almost $600 by selling covered calls. To summarize, covered calls are not free money. Anybody that tells you that covered calls and running the wheel is free money is not somebody that you should take advice from. Because as I've shown you here in Microsoft, where it cost me $7,000, and also in SPY, where it's cost me close to $600, covered calls, they sometimes backfire, and sometimes you're trading in dollars and you're only receiving back pennies. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Watch the video that's popping up on your screen right now because YouTube believes that you would enjoy it the most.
Visit beststockstrategy.com and submit your email address to receive valuable free training. Please give this podcast a positive rating and review. If you have any questions, visit beststockstrategy.com and send me a message.